Yesterday was crazy. We were on the trade show. Thousands of people came by and said hi to us. It was great. What are some of the things you're seeing in day three? What do you, any value from this? What do you get?
I am, because today was the opportunity to see what's out there, what's actually in real life, and how people are executing things like regular software in different segments, from law to shipping, to things that people are thinking about, right? One thing I know for sure now is that what we are doing is at the very edge of what's possible when it comes to AI, and it's really fun to do some of these demos and show people what we're capable of, and it's been great that way.
Yeah, I'm seeing, I think a couple things. Like the AI generalist, it's already dead.
Yeah.
It's all about specialists.
Yeah.
And specialists are what we are.
Yeah.
We're niche. AI harness builders, engineers. In the Microsoft Azure Foundry. Not very many Foundry people here. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
One of the most powerful platforms in the world, and we haven't found any other people. That's number one I've seen.
Yes.
And then the other one, we've been talking about this for the last 24 months. I had a guy come up to me yesterday say, 2 years ago you were talking about this.
Yes.
You were so ahead of the curve. And it was only 2 years ago.
So Steve Boy, CTO of Sasbury. I'm here with
Paula Gamble, account executive here at Microsoft.
So your area of specialization is startups. Ours is enterprise, but you told me very interesting things about what Microsoft does for startups. So could you just fill us in on how Microsoft helps startups, especially those that are just starting out in the AI space?
So we have something called the Microsoft for Startups program, where startups, as they grow, can unlock up to $150,000 in Azure credits. The program is built around the concept of helping founders with where they are, with what they need. So Microsoft 365, GitHub Studio, variety of other mentorship, technical enablement resources. And the idea is building to be enterprise grade ready from the beginning, so that as your company scales, you're ready to go no matter how it evolves.
Right. And if you're a startup and you're interested in getting some help from Microsoft, why should they pick Microsoft over, say, Google or some other provider? And how would they go about getting help?
So what's really exciting about working with Microsoft as a startup is most enterprises today live on Microsoft. And I think if you're a B2B targeted company looking to work with enterprises larger than yourself, living where your customers do is top of mind. And ensuring that also from like a deal length term consideration, unlocking spend that may already be blocked, and also the trust, reliability, governance, and everything that comes with what's known about the Microsoft stack, that's inherently built into the products versus being something you need to bolt on down the road as you look to scale.
And that's exactly why we spend a lot of our effort and focus on Microsoft, just because we are B2B and all our enterprise customers depend on that governance layer, and that's so extremely important. And outcome based is really important. We always approach our own clients from a business objective standpoint, and the challenges that a lot of these people now see, now that the deployment of AI and the build of AI is starting to get beyond the initial stages. Now that it's maturing a bit, and especially in the enterprise arena, they talk to us about, how do you do this, how do you do that, because they don't necessarily have never seen how to do AI with these kind of business objectives, with the blockers that they're seeing now. Because these blockers you can only realize when you're actually building, and we have, and in production.
Everybody's interest is ROI.
Yes.
They want to know, okay, if it's going to cost me $250,000, how long is the ROI? Everything is ROI and outcome. That's it. And that's what we've been talking for the last 2 years.
Yes.
What's the outcome going to be, and what's the ROI going to be?
But personally, with what you do right now, how has AI impacted you?
Yeah, I think from kind of an everyday perspective, it helps in executive search in the business that I'm in. It certainly helps us with our research, not only on our customers and their business. in our competitive, when we're looking into a competitive landscape to try and understand where those candidates fall. It certainly makes it easier to find them. But one of the things that we do at AGL is we really focus on using our own network to find the right candidate. So it's great to get a long list of candidates, but when you really start digging into that, you have to know those people. You have to understand kind of their backgrounds, where they're coming from, and what that looks like to make sure that they're a right fit, for the job that you're trying to fill for them.
So it's almost like a balance between the humanity and the AI technology aspect to it. But I think AI has the opportunity to kind of really bring humanity in a lot of how our processes have been doing over the years. That's been very software dependent, but I think AI can surface some of the kind of the natural, less friction aspect to how we can execute these things. So how about you?
Yeah, I'd say from on the business transformation or management consulting side, it certainly helped from gathering data and information and research in the marketplace. I think there's a lot of concern in the market about AI replacing jobs and replacing folks in their jobs. But I think one of the things that, from my perspective, is that AI is kind of a supplemental thing. It's kind of an enabler of success and growth. And so it's not intended to be one or the other. I think you can't really get rid of the fact that, the expertise and the history and the experience from a human nature standpoint provides context around the information that you get back using AI. Absolutely. So it's not just about getting the output from AI, but it's about validating information and then using your experience to use it in everyday practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing with AI is going to ever replace the relationships that we all have, right? Yes. We've all known each other for decades. It feels like through our hockey and through the community. That's going to always be first and foremost. Yes. So if there's any words to pass along, words of wisdom to pass along, the relationships are what matters, right? In all forms of business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'd say just from my perspective, I guess I'm old enough to say that I've lived through the internet age. I've lived through the the SaaS model age, and so the evolution of technology and telephony and mobile phones. The reality is technology is an enabler. And so it's about understanding it, it's about leveraging it where you can, but not being afraid of it.
All right. Thank you, Chase. All right. Sesbury out.